So hello everyone, and thanks for joining this BASIS seminar session as part of the AHDB Agronomy Week. Now, just before I start, my name's Greg Hopkinson. I'm Technical Manager at BASIS. I hope everyone can hear me okay. If anyone has any technical issues like we had yesterday, and we apologise for that if you did join yesterday, then if you can't hear me or can't see me or anything kind of happens like that, then please put a question, put a comment in the question and answer box, which will be in the top kind of right corner of your screen. And then that's also the place to put any kind of questions you've got about the presentation today. And I'm on my own today producing this, so I'll probably wait until the end, wait for all the questions to come in and then answer them at the end rather than do it as I go through, because like I say, I'm kind of on my own doing it today, so it's not always that easy to answer them as we go along. So thanks for joining today. This is our second seminar session of part of the Agronomy Week. The first session was really targeted at kind of new entrants to the industry and was talking a bit more about kind of how BASIS supports people as they go through their career. Now this session is more targeted at probably it's great for new entrants as well, anyone new to the industry, but it's also going to be really helpful for anyone who's a BASIS professional register member, potentially, especially those ones who have maybe just done the certificate in crop protection or just done FACS or just done both of them and hasn't done any of the more advanced or further qualifications that BASIS provide. And so I'm going to kind of talk through the BASIS Diploma, why that might help you, and then kind of what's involved in achieving that. But firstly, I want to just talk about kind of who are BASIS, and 1 second, I've just had a minor thing. It's just I've just lost that in front of me, so that's all right. Sorry about that kind of technical issue. I just had something pop up on my screen that just put me off a little bit, but keep going. So kind of talk a bit about who are BASIS, really. So BASIS, we're an independent organisation and we're committed to raising professional standards across land management and food production. And we do that by supporting people and businesses. And we've got three kind of key ways that we do that. So the first one is our industry leading qualifications. Like I say, hopefully a lot of you who are on today will have achieved one of these, maybe the certificate in crop protection or FACS. And they really are the industry standard qualifications, and all farm advisors, agronomists, and a lot of farm managers and other kind of allied job roles to the industry achieve BASIS qualifications to show your professionalism and your knowledge. The second thing we do, and this is actually the first thing BASIS was set up to do, was we audit professional pesticide stores to make sure that pesticides are stored safely and correctly to protect people and the environment. And that's still a really important part of our organisation, and that's still carried out by our auditors throughout the year. And then finally, we run professional registers. So an example of this is the BASIS professional register, and we also have the FACS register of FACS qualified advisors for the crop nutrition industry. And these registers are a register of professional advisors and professional people within the industry who have achieved a qualification such as the certificate in crop protection or the FACS qualification. So it's showing you've got that knowledge and understanding. You also, to maintain your place on the professional register, you also have to achieve a certain amount of CPD every year. And what it really can show is if you're a member of the BASIS professional register, you're an up-to-date, knowledgeable advisor on crop nutrition or crop protection. And that's really important. It helps us show that we're a sustainable and safe industry, meeting high standards. And it also allows us to, it's written into a lot of farm assurance schemes, so it allows kind of our members to carry out their day-to-day jobs on farm. So that's really important to kind of support the industry. So that's kind of what we do. And at the heart of everything, I just want to go back to it's raising standards, and it's that land management and food production industry. And what we really want to do is we want to support you to provide the best advice possible and the best management in this industry. So I'm going to talk now a bit about the BASIS Diploma and how it can support you to be successful in your career. So it's a qualification framework, it's all BASIS courses, and it provides in-depth knowledge for UK farm managers and advisors, and it covers all aspects of crop production and land management. So while our facts and certificate and crop protection qualifications are really the fundamental courses, as you'll see on the next slide, this allows farm managers and farm advisors to get both the breadth and depth of knowledge that's required by farm managers and advisors these days. And there's lots of reasons why you need to have that greater breadth and depth of knowledge. So this is what the BASIS Diploma looks like. It's important to just show that it's all accredited by the Harper Adams University. So all our courses are accredited by them. And actually, once you've achieved the BASIS Diploma, you can go on. If you take another 15 credit course, so for example, another advanced module, then you will be able to achieve the Harper Adams Graduate Diploma in Agronomy with Environmental Management. So there's another kind of qualification and achievement you can get beyond the BASIS Diploma. But as you can see at the bottom here, fundamental, BASIS certificate in crop protection and the facts qualifications are a key part of the BASIS Diploma. And that key understanding of crop protection and crop nutrition is really the base for it. But what the diploma allows you to do is it allows you to advance your knowledge into a wider range of areas and allows you to get more in-depth knowledge on certain aspects. So and as you can see, there's a whole range of courses that are part of the diploma. 3 of the courses are kind of essential. So Conservation Management, Plant Protection Award and the Soil and Water Management Award. And then finally, there's an advanced module to kind of finish off the diploma. And we've got a range of these available, so you can kind of specialise in an area that's particularly interesting or important for your job role. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk through the further courses that we offer and explain what they provide and why they might help you be the best farm manager and farm advisor you can be. Just before I do that, I'm just going to double check that we've not got any questions that have popped up. So no questions at the minute. So I'm going to keep going and I'll talk through the courses as we go along, and hopefully we'll have some questions at the end. So the first one I want to talk about is beta conservation management, and managing the wider farmed environment is going to be so important in years to come. We all know, we've seen so much in the news about the agriculture bill and the ELMS scheme that's going to be implemented over the next 4 or 5 years. And understanding how to protect the environment and how that works with agri-environment schemes is going to be just so important for all advisors, and helping farmers and farmers themselves understanding how to put forward a successful application that delivers real environmental benefits is going to be just a crucial part of all farm managers and advisors' jobs. But this course kind of goes beyond that, and it kind of allows us to look at how we produce a sustainable farming system. It goes through some really key topics. So I'm trying to kind of envisage that in some of the images we've got here. So we've got soil management, protecting our soils and how we manage them kind of successfully, especially with a focus on how we do that in a sustainable way, looking at climate change and greenhouse gas emissions and soil erosion. We also look at integrated pest management with a real focus on how we protect things like pollinators and beneficials, not just to grow crops successfully in an economical way, but also in a way that allows the wider environment and nature to flourish. We'll look at water protection and all the legislation and requirements around that. Like I've said, we look at how all that fits within agri-environmental schemes and also other UK legislation and guidance to ensure that farmers have the funding and meet all the requirements they need to throughout their environmental schemes. We also look at the kind of wider landscape. We look at habitat management, how we enhance the current habitats available on farms, and also how we create new habitats to benefit key indicator species, as shown here by the barn owl, and nature in general. And finally, we look at some concepts such as net zero farming, catchment sensitive farming, and catchment based approaches, and cluster farms working together on a landscape scale to provide real benefits to the wider environment. So I'm going to move on now to the second course I want to talk about, which is another of the kind of essential courses as part of the BASIS Diploma. And that's the Soil and Water Management course. And this is quite an easy one to explain because it does what it says on the tin. It's looking at how we effectively manage our soils, to both protect our soils and enhance them so we've got them for years to come, but also how we protect our watercourses and the wider water environment. And the final aspect it looks at is kind of water management. So whether that's drainage or irrigation, it is, even though we might not think it at times in the UK, it can be a limiting resource, as we saw this spring, and how we effectively managed it, especially with climate change potentially affecting our climate, is going to be really, really important. Now, normally for the soil and water management course, we'd recommend that the facts course is carried out first. If you want to do the facts course, you are better doing that first before the soil and water management one, because some of the fundamentals of crop nutrition are covered in the facts course, and then they're taken to a slightly more advanced level in the soil and water management course. So having a good understanding of crop nutrition, organic manure applications, aspects like that, which are covered in the facts course, will help you with the soil and water management course. So some of the topics that are kind of covered are the properties of UK soils. How do you go in and assess them? Soil structure and soil texture. We'll look at the movement of water through the soil and how that impacts both crop growth and crop production, but also looks at how that impacts water quality and pollution of watercourses. Again, like all BASIS courses, it looks at the UK legislation surrounding the protection of our soil and water. And that's really important as part of this course, and I think the requirements for that are going to get even more stringent in years to come. Like I say, drainage and irrigation are covered, and crop nutrition is covered, not in as broader and in-depth way as in facts, but it looks at some key ways of crop nutrition, such as how it's linked to soil management, soil indices, how improving soil structure can optimise nutrition uptake and all aspects like that. Similarly, it looks at organic manures, but specifically at the sustainable use of them and how they should be used in a way that protects the wider environment. And finally, I've tried to show this with the bottom two images. It looks a lot at cultivation and crop establishment, and especially with looking at how we can reduce and prevent soil erosion. The thing with soil and water management course is it's such a practical course. It's probably the most hands-on both course and assessment that BASIS runs, and I think it gives a really good insight in how farm management systems as a whole can be changed to benefit the farmer, to benefit the environment, and to create a kind of a sustainable agricultural system. So the final kind of compulsory advanced course on the BASIS Diploma is called the Plant Protection Award. So the Plant Protection Award is quite a broad course, and this one kind of focuses on the crop protection side of things. So we've kind of had two courses looking at the environmental side and crop nutrition, and then this provides further more in-depth insight into kind of crop protection. So it really takes your certificate in crop protection to the next level. And it does this by looking at kind of a few things. The firstly is like UK legislation and the product approval process and product how we can maintain the suite of products we've got available, understanding the mode of action for plant protection products in a bit more depth, and looking at kind of issues such as counterfeit pesticides. So it gives us a bit more of a broad and in-depth understanding of those key issues kind of surrounding the industry. It also looks at things like pest, disease and weed resistance in quite a lot of detail. Those kind of fundamental issues that are affecting us, such as flea beetle resistance and blackgrass resistance, looks at why that's happened, how we can manage it, and how we overcome that issue. Also looks at things like biopesticides and kind of alternative crop protection strategies. And it also looks at kind of whole farm management strategies with a real focus on not just IPM, but also integrated farm management and how the whole farming system can have an impact on crop protection and crop production and sustainability. And the final area of this course is technology. So it's looking at precision farming, it's looking at crop modelling and pest forecasts and how we can utilise drones and imagery. Also looks at application technology. And finally, it looks at product formulation and how that impacts crop protection products and how we use them. So now we come on to the advanced modules, and this is where you can specialise a bit more in a course that you find particularly interesting, or in a course that's really applicable for your job role. So all the advanced courses have kind of prerequisite courses, either facts or certificate in crop protection. So the two courses that have facts, you need to have facts before you take these courses, are the quality of soils course and the wasteland course. So the quality of soils course, soil management and protecting our soils is such a hot topic still. It has been for the last 3, 4, 5 years, and it really is the fundamental of sustainable agriculture. We need to protect our soils, and if we have a healthy, thriving soil environment that our crops grow in, that protects our watercourses, it helps mitigate climate change, it allows us to produce sustainable and profitable crops, and it also increases the biodiversity on our farm. And so the quality of soils looks at the real in-depth analysis of all aspects of soil management, but especially looking at things like microbiology, earthworms, cultivation strategies, organic matter, and it gets into quite a lot of technical detail. So if you're kind of interested in that, and you're interested in soils and looking after these soils and how you manage them, it's a fantastic course. The waste of land course is also a really interesting course. It's there's been a massive increase in the range of organic manures and the amount of organic manures applied to land. If you look at things like digestate and biosolids especially, and the regulations and legislation surrounding them have only become kind of more stringent over the last 5 or 6 years. And understanding it is really important, especially if you're on a farm or advising on a farm where they're using a lot of different organic manures and organic materials. So it covers all aspects such as how to get the most out of them, most appropriate ones to use in different situations, legislation, storage, and all aspects about how to maximise the benefit from them, to have profitable farms, but also to protect the wider environment. Then the final range of advanced modules have the certificate in crop protection as the kind of prerequisite course, and these are advanced crop modules. So currently we offer advanced potatoes, advanced cereals, advanced sugar beet, and these look at these crops and the crop protection and nutrition and how you grow these crops successfully in a bit more detail and a bit more in depth than the certificate in crop protection course can. So these are fantastic if you look after a huge area of these crops, or if they're a particularly important crop on your farm, or if you're moving to a new area, or have took on new farming clients, or have moved to become a farm manager in a new area where you're potentially going to have to look after or grow potatoes or sugar beet or even cereals more widely than you had done before, and you want to have a bit of a recap and become a bit more of bit more expertise in that area. These are really fantastic courses, and they've been really popular. So these are all the courses that make up part of the BASIS Diploma. But I want to just kind of lay out, to summarise, why is the BASIS Diploma for me? A lot of our members will have achieved the certificate in crop protection or facts, and they're great. They're great courses to give you a great understanding for the industry, the knowledge you're required to carry out your job. But I really think that even now, but even more so in the future, having that broader knowledge that these advanced courses and the BASIS Diploma provides will be the hallmark of a good farm advisor. And everyone, farm managers and farm advisors, everyone working in the industry is having to provide advice on a greater range of topics and become an expert in more areas. And providing the best advice possible has got to be the way we've got to look to. So, firstly, if you've got the BASIS Diploma, you can demonstrate your expertise to people. They will know you've got a wide range of knowledge about crop production and land management. That could be to potential customers or current customers. It could be to the wider industry when you're talking to colleagues or people at events, or it could be even to prospective employers in the future. Having that BASIS Diploma just is fantastic and is a real hallmark of a well-rounded advisor. It gives you an opportunity to achieve a qualification that's equivalent to a university degree. There's a lot of people in this industry who never had that opportunity, or have had that opportunity and want to kind of get that qualification again and have that satisfaction. And it's a fantastic opportunity to do that. And there's not many industries where you have the ability to do that while you're working full time. So it's a really great opportunity. You can develop specialist knowledge for particular areas that are either of interest to you or are required for your job role. So a great example of that is there's more and more advice being provided on soil management. So you could quite easily do the soil and water and quality of soils course to become a real expert in soil management and cultivations. And that can make you stand out from the crowd and be able to provide a service that other people haven't got the knowledge and expertise to deliver. It also allows you to future-proof your career. Crop protection and crop nutrition is becoming more and more difficult to provide advice on. Having a reduced number of products, we've got even more stringent legislation, and who knows how crop protection is going to look in 5, 10, 20 years time. But farmers are always going to need advice, whether that's on how to manage the wider environment and agri-environment schemes, whether that's how to cultivate and manage their soils, whether that's how to protect watercourses or utilise irrigation and produce drainage systems, or whether it's on what technologies to invest in or how to do crop and pest modelling. So advice is always going to be needed, but if you've got these extra skills, you're really going to be able to future-proof your career. And this is kind of linked to that. It's just growing your skill set. Everyone wants to be able to deliver the highest level of service possible, whether that's as a farm manager, delivering the best profitability and sustainable crop production, whether that's an advisor, delivering the best advice to your farmers, or whether you work for a manufacturer company or a other kind of linked organisation to the industry. Being able to have those discussions with other stakeholders is so important. And that's what I'd kind of like to point out. Everything we do is linked to providing good advice and good management on farm. And we really think that doing courses beyond the certificate in crop protection and beyond facts allows you to have these conversations with people and deliver the best management and advice on farm. Now, I want to just finish with kind of the BASIS company promise. This is something we've worked really hard on, and our promise to the wider industry and our members and our stakeholders is to support people to improve standards and protect the environment for a sustainable future. And I really think if the more people we have completing the BASIS Diploma, we're meeting this company promise. We're supporting our members, we're supporting the people doing our qualifications. They will be able to provide better advice or better farm management, and that will improve the standards within the industry of UK growers and UK crop production. But not just that, it'll help protect the environment. It'll allow agri-environment schemes to be utilised effectively. It'll allow them to be effective and actually make a significant difference in the environment. It'll allow us to protect our soils and manage our soils more effectively, protect our watercourses and water quality. And it allows UK agriculture to become a sustainable industry. So I hope you've enjoyed that presentation. I'm not sure if I've got any questions. I'm going to have to just load up the screen again. So at the minute I can't, I'm just having a look and see if there's any questions. So I've not got any questions at the minute. If anyone has got anything, then please feel free to type it into the question and answer box now. I'd like to say just thanks for joining us. My details can be found. I'll just move on to the next slide and I'll be able to show you my details. So my details can be shown on this slide here. They can also be found on the Agronomy Week BASIS stand. So please contact me if you've got any questions that you have now. This recording should also become available on our YouTube channel and on our website if you want to look back at anything again. And also the other great place to look is our BASIS prospectus. It gives great insight to all our courses that we offer. That can be found on the Agronomy Week stand, or again, it can be found on the BASIS website. So thanks again for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Agronomy Week.